Welcome to Liberty Today. On today's program, Sam Kephart asks, will the next stimulus package be a war? Nick Reed discusses the latest anti-pro-Obamacare bulletin from the Division of Insurance. And Peter Vadenka uncovers the seeds of America's greatness. All this and more on today's Liberty Today.
There's an interesting book on the set. My friend Barb Landers just brought this in today. It's titled, How Do You Kill 11 Million People? And Barb, the assertion is that government does it very well, thank you.
Yes, they do, and the author is very clear on laying out that there have been multiple instances. We always think of Germany as being the killing field, if you will, but there have been plenty of others. Millions upon millions of people have been killed over the last century, and probably before as well, by government.
Yes, and the example that you cite, Germany, 90% of the people stood by and did nothing because they were controlled by
fear. Fear, yes, and the lies.
Yes.
A lie, as Hitler says, the bigger the lie, the more the people will believe it. And I think that we see that in our own time and place here in history, and it is certainly true of other times in history, that people who are afraid don't want to believe that bad things are coming at them.
It's called delusion, isn't it?
Yeah, hey, that's a good word.
Or denial.
Delusion, yes.
Yes, and
denial.
You know, some of the most horrific things in history have taken place in plain view.
Yes.
You gave information as we were talking before this segment about the number of the millions of people that have been killed by different governments.
Why don't you let me read that?
Yes, would you?
Germany, 1933 to 45, 11,283,000. Cambodia, 1975 to 79, 3 million out of 8 million population.
My Lord, that's...
Soviet Union, 1917 to 87, 54,767,000. Turkey, during World War I, 2 million Armenians. They singled out the Armenians instead of the Jews. North Korea, 3 million. Mexico, Pakistan, the Baltic states, 1 million each. And those are just the ones that were listed in this book. There are no doubt more. And we could add now Somalia, Ethiopia,
yes,
all manner of countries.
And while we're adding, we could add the United States of America, 50 to 60 million.
50 to 60 million?
In abortions.
Oh,
I mean,
of course,
you talk about the killing of,
yes,
the taking of innocent life out in the open. And we see the same things that are recorded in history are happening right now under our nose.
Yes, yes, and people don't want to believe it. They want to believe the lie that everything's okay and life is going to go on just the way it always has, and that their children are going to be safe, and people in general forget what the opposite of freedom is.
Do you think, Barb, that there is hope for America if we do not see men and women demonstrate a new brand of courage?
No, I don't think so. I think that people need to put aside what they think will keep them safe and put principle in the forefront. If we call ourselves Christian nation, and we are a Christian nation, I was just listening to something today, a CD, where the speaker said that 77% of Americans call themselves Christian. That's rather unbelievable, considering what's going on today with pornography, abortion, et cetera, et cetera. Yes. If the people who claim they are Christians would be willing to live by their Christian principles and step up and speak out instead of hiding in the shadows. Somebody else uses that, don't they?
Yes, they
the
do.
Hiding in the shadows. I think the Christians are hiding in the shadows too. Then yes, well, I think we could take our nation back. But how do we motivate people, Gordon? I don't know.
Barb, I believe that the only way to motivate people is by sharing the truth.
Yeah.
By painting with a broad brush the reality that they have refused to look at.
Yeah. How do we do that, Gordon?
Absent that, well, I think some of it is the things that you and I are doing regularly. Barb is a political activist who's not fearful when it comes to sharing the truth. We're going to talk some more about truth, fear, courage, and the destiny of America when you compare it to the record of history. We must have courage or we may not have a nation.
Right.